Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion. Please binding Isaac Afterbirth plus 31 wins in a row. Every single run is just another notch on the belt right now. Q-ply dags. Alright. I like it, honestly. Whoa, that was almost a spirit heart being erased immediately. Sincerely, I like it. We have we got two problems. Speed and the D part of DPS. But, I mean, you will get it, but give me a second here. Maybe we'll get a natural bomb spawn. Our spacebar item could use a little bit of work as well, but apart from that, we got what I would consider to be a way above average start. And again, what do I say? Well, I mean, I don't always say this because I don't have like a typified routine for saying this necessarily, but like, the thing is, I would much rather start with above average rate of fire, below average damage. That's as far as I'm concerned, the learned Isaac player's choice. You get the choice between 8 rate of fire, 2.7 damage, or, you know, 12 rate of fire, 3.5 damage. I know what I'm taking. So for this guy, we almost have to rely on old strats, I think. Like, we want him to blow himself up with a bomb. Thank you. Maybe 2 bombs. Oh! Close. I mean, we have kamikaze. Of course, I would love, like... I think it's overrated, but that doesn't mean it's not decent, you know? Like, to have bomb immunity. You really gotta ask some questions about... yo, that's amazing. Especially with... euthanasia sitting back there. You gotta ask some questions, right? About Little Horn. How on earth did Little Horn live long enough for us to meet him when he blows himself up within like 30 seconds every single time? It doesn't make sense. What do the writers expect us to believe? That he just teleported here? That's actually a very reasonable complaint in my opinion, but simultaneously, okay. What are we gonna do? I'm gonna use the Emperor card right away because I'm impatient. I want to see what this deal with the devil contains. We won't see what it contains until we pick it up, but you know, that's life. We're one syringe away from getting spun. I don't know, it doesn't sound that much fun. Do you guys like getting dizzy? I know it's a strange question. It seems like it came out of nowhere. It didn't really come out of nowhere. You know, I mean, I just said the word spun, so I was thinking about getting dizzy. Nah. See what we got first. Okay. Guppy's hairball, totally fine. Marbles, interesting. Probably roll this for funsies. Not a big improvement necessarily, obviously, but you know, a decent one hard deal to take. I hate getting dizzy, and the fact that people like getting dizzy, it always surprises me. You know, that people are like, you know what's, when I was a kid, they'd be like, just spin me in the chair for a bit to get dizzy. It's fun. I've never understood it. It's nauseating. And I don't just mean like, you know, oh, these violent delights have violent ends. Like, how could the populace be so stupid as to think being deliberately inconvenienced is fun? I just mean like literally is physically extremely unpleasant for me. I threw up like at the amusement park multiple times as a kid growing up. You know, like as much as roller coasters aren't necessarily my bag, give me the roller coasters that go fast and drop you. And create, you know, fear and excitement over the rides that just spin around really, really fast and make you want to throw up. I'll tell you, I'm not a good astronaut candidate. I'll just level with you 100%. Doesn't really bother me, to be honest. I'd rather be the man in the chair. Can't get in yet. It's just one of those things I never got. You know, like people, they do the thing where they spin, like they're playing baseball or t-ball, I should say. They spin around with their forehead on the bat and then try to hit the ball. I would be like, you know what, maybe I'll just be equipment manager today. People, the thing is, you're probably like, where's the fun in that? Well, the fun is in not being dizzy. It's like addition through subtraction, you know? I subtracted something negative, so now my day's more positive. People, if you have inner ear issues to any extent, people disbelieve you. Which is, you know, it's the closest I come to understanding people who are, like, actually colorblind. So whenever you meet a colorblind person, you're always like, what color is this? And they're like, I don't know. And you're like, ah, he checks out. But when you're dizzy or you get motion sickness, people will tell you things like, just quit being a baby. I would love to quit being a baby, brother. You think I'm just making up motion sickness for attention. That's not really what it's like, you know? Nobody's like, you know, have sympathy for me, I'm nauseous. People are like, could you just not do that? I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Anyway, I think we're gonna bounce from this floor. Nervous is not the right word for how I feel right now, but I'm not super confident. We didn't really improve as much as I thought we would on the second floor, but it's starting to get somewhere a little bit. By the way, you might be hearing the gas leak in the background. Remember, it's not a gas leak, it's just a shower. Which, in many ways, is actually indeed leaking gas. Sure, some kind of gas is coming out of the shower head at the same time that water's coming out. I mean, it really is just gaseous water, but then also at a temperature where it's still liquid. So yeah, it's just liquid gas, really. Yeah, I hate being dizzy, dude. And then people who don't get motion sickness think they have the keys to the kingdom. Just crank up the FOV. I wish, bro. I don't know. I was blessed with many things. Huge head of hair. 6'10". Naturally very, very lean and muscular, but the inner ear, hey man, everybody's got an Achilles heel, even Achilles allegedly. What was Achilles' heel? Couldn't eat bread. He had not celiac, not full-blown celiac, but just he was gluten intolerant, which really created some digestive issues for him on the battlefield on the regular. I don't know if you had that's why they called it the Iliad, is because of all the illness that he had. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Alright. So getting a cube of meat is very not bad. But this run has now gone from like threat level light green to threat level dark yellow. Wait, no, dark yellow would be worse than bright yellow. We've gone, you know, from, let's say we've gone from spinach to mustard, okay? Spinach, kale, iceberg lettuce, you know, relatively safe positions to be in. Not actually worried about the overall outcome of the run. You know, anything could happen, but you're looking like you're in a confident position. Once you get into mustard, you're like, hey, it's not time to panic. But we would definitely like to, you know, as soon as possible, it would be very nice to make progress. And in this case, our avenue is definitely DPS. That would be the big one for us. So we haven't seen our item room yet. Oh, dude, Infamy is pretty solid. I don't believe we've seen our item room yet, at least. Wait, maybe we got Keybagger? No, we haven't seen our item room yet. That's why I hate these curses, dude. Now, from mustard, you can go to ketchup. That would be unfortunate. But you can also go back to dark leafy greens, you know? Your spinaches, your kales, your hearts of romaine, etc., etc. Your Burger King foot lettuce. Don't sweat it. All we gotta do for now is play our game. And, you know, get hit as little as possible would be, like, a big part of it as well. Drop a key here, please. Just one. Okay, a bomb is also advantageous, but it's not as advantageous. Okay, I got an idea. Normally, I would probably not do this, but To get nothing out of 8 mushrooms is a bit of a slap in the face. You know, don't, you know, save your angry tweets for Ed, Tyrone, and myself. But I will say, it's a little bit of a slap in the face to use 4 bombs and get nothing out of it. No! Say something, I hate the key bum. I hate him. Don't lie to me, Chad. I picked this guy up out of A Curse of the Blind, right? I don't believe that I would have the audacity on a threat level Dijon to take a key beggar out of a deluded sense that he would actually improve things on this. I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. Okay, what do I like? Box of Trinkets probably beats Kamikaze. And yeah, stop blocking the Spirit Heart, brother. I think I'm gonna use a bomb because I'd like to have a chance at an arcade next floor. And I'm gonna, okay, that's fine. Totally acceptable. So we're not in a good spot. That's gotta be a secret room, dude. Like I said. We're not in a good spot. We already found the secret room. You were here? You were not here. I'm starting to, I wouldn't say lose it. Because I think, again, you look at the stats, this is not a run that's worth losing it on right now. This feels like a secret room for certain. Give it a shot. Bombs are key. Okay, actually pretty good. Health up, very good. Amnesia does not matter at all. Actually ended up being extremely nice. And you might be like, you want that speed upgrade? Nah, dude. I mean, I do want the speed upgrade, but more than anything else, I want these flies for now. Like, this run is far from a loss. It's just a little annoying. Just use your range advantage. It could, I would still say, you know, how has the threat level changed? You know, we need the flies. I do think about taking left hand, but I think for now we take the flies. You know, the trinkets will take that, replace this, or you know, maybe if we get hit, we'll actually like swallow the trinket, and that would be fine as well. But sure, just take the key. It's not like I need it or anything, you know, to improve my run considerably or whatever. You know, lame stuff. Just use your orbital. Okay, we gulped one. I should be thinking it's a negative, but now I'm like, at the very least, I'm hoping we get the doubling of value on every single trinket that we take. So, I mean, left hand, we're really trying to get the guppy finesse going there. Use your noggin. Pretend it's, you know, you're choosing the host city for the Winter Olympics in 1998. Oh my god, it immediately paid dividends. Who hosted the Olympics in 1998? Nagano. In Japan. You know, there was a time I could pride myself. I knew all the Olympics. Not all the Olympics, but like all the Olympics in living memory at least. It's like 1994, Lillehammer. 96, Atlanta. 98, Nagano. 2000, Sydney. 2002, Salt Lake City, Utah. 2004, Athens, Greece. 2006, Torino, Italy. 2008, Beijing. 2010, Vancouver. 2012, London. I mean, come on. 2014, Sochi, Russia. 2016, Rio de Janeiro. 2018. That one's the funniest because I was there. I mean, it was South Korea, but it was like Pyeongchang. That's it. I was like, because the city that the hockey was in was called Gangneung, and I know you're like the song, and it's no, it's not like the song. That's Gangnam. That's a district. But anyway, then I know Tokyo's 2020. But that's where I fall off. Like, at that point, who's 2022? Have they even chosen that one? 2022 Olympics. 2022 is Beijing again. Okay. 2024 is Paris. 2026. The host city was due to be selected, but they haven't selected it. Yeah, they haven't selected it until 2019. Okay, interesting. So 2022 in Beijing. Thanks for taking the key. I really appreciate it. Oh, we gulped it too. 2022 in Beijing, 2024 in Paris. And you might be like, how come China gets another Olympics so soon? If you're saying that, I just want to ask, are you American? Because, like, did you hear the whole 1996 Atlanta, 2002 Salt Lake City sort of setup that I gave you there? You know, you get the Olympics all the time. I think you're also getting them in, like, 2028. So, sure, China's got 2 Olympics in 14 years. You know? Get over it. I think LA's hosting them. You know, I know it sounds weird because, like, you're like, well, they haven't selected 2026, but they have 2028. I'm pretty sure 2028 is, like, is LA already. Hold on a second. 2028 Olympics. LA, yeah. And 2030? Nobody knows yet. Nobody knows where the Olympics in 2030. Nobody knows. Which is interesting because in 2030, it's a Winter Olympics. North America will have not hosted a Winter Olympics for 20 years. You know what that means. Bring them back to Vancouver. Probably not. I don't want Teleport 2.0. I wouldn't mind it, but I can't pay the cost. This is a big one. Like, we're on threat level Sriracha now. It's not quite like nuclear, you know, the last dab levels, but we're getting up there. I think we should definitely not go. What are you doing? Okay. What I was gonna say is you should definitely go back to the shop and take advantage of the fact that we have enough money to buy a Spirit Heart. Instead, I'm gonna let Ed decide. We'll do our best. There's so many payouts, dude. A syringe is huge. A guppy item, easy wins. Any of the instant win items, instant win. So many potential improvements. Love it, but don't take it yet. I had a feel. I just thought to myself, I was like, forgetting something? Yep, Krampus. Forgot this man existed. What do we want? Honestly, we want to be hit. Use this. Why? Thought we might be able to smelt the trinket via marbles. We don't want Krampus's head, though it pains me to admit. Now we do want this. What are we gonna do? Dude, I don't know. It's getting touchy. We're gonna go to our curse room. We should go to the shop too. Low on keys. Wonder why that is. Yo, okay, never mind. We got myriad guppies, and I know you're like, yeah, you might not be the biggest fan of 9 lives in this situation, but I am. So this is still not. I mean, I would put us now at a yellowish green. I would put us at like the logo of Sprite. But I'm okay with it. Now, do keep in mind, by the way, that health up is so clutch here. But do keep in mind, this is sincere. We have a big negative, and the big negative is that we've smelted the left hand now. Now, it did what we needed it to do. So I will never insult it, but it is going to make the chest harder. You know what? I'm out of this floor. We got HP. We're free to go. And this accursed run is, well, not that it was ever really horrible, but the Guppy payout is making it work. And what did we get? Hairball, tail, and then 2 red chests paying out. So it's not like we even got the all-time bangers, and then we're like, we lucked into Guppy. Like, we finessed this the whole way. Like, what did I say? Guppy finesse. It was on the docket, and then we made it happen. Anyway. I know people don't even, like, want the Olympics. Like, Calgary, they were going to do an Olympic bid, and then they had a referendum, and the city voted against it. I don't blame you, honestly. You know, Calgary, Vancouver, we have our differences from time to time. Legitimately, you know, you guys are like, we're gonna turn off the taps, and we're like, we like water, and you're like, yeah, well, we like energy, and I'm like, yeah, me too, but you know, I got a holier than thou position here, and I'm gonna lean into it. And you're like, well, enjoy your $1.75 per liter gas, and I'm like, okay, we will. Anyway, the most important thing is we're better because we don't have a winter. Secondarily, you know, the Olympics are expensive, and a lot of the Olympics you know, have been, I don't want to say mismanaged, but like, you know, a country gets the Olympics, they spend like billions of dollars to make it, you know, to build the stadiums and necessary infrastructure changes and stuff like that. And, you know, at the end of the day, once people leave, oh, we'll definitely take this. And once the Olympics are over, you know, you might not use all that infrastructure, and all of a sudden it's a huge, like, multi-billion-dollar waste. Like, I know in Greece and Brazil, I think in particular, is pretty bad. I think Vancouver got away, like, pretty scot-free, relatively speaking. And people are still like, I wish we hadn't had them. But some people are like, it's a point of great civic pride for sure. Like, what did Vancouver get? Well, like, the Sea to Sky Highway was turned from a death trap into, like, a picturesque path from Vancouver to Whistler. It's a nice drive, even though it's still a little scary from time to time. So that, like, that's big. And then, like, another train line that goes to the airport, which is also extremely nice. And then, you know, for hockey, they played in the Canucks hockey stadium, which already existed. You know, we already got mountains here. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying we didn't have to. They did have to truck in snow because the weather wasn't that cold, but best of both worlds as far as I'm concerned. Hold on. Okay, I think we're good to fight the boss. Yo, Pandora's box is 4 spirit arts. That's what I was going to say. I definitely was not going to say it's a guaranteed item. That would be wrong. Yeah, it depends. You know, I stand in solidarity with my Calgarian brethren. You know, if you don't want the Olympics in your city, I don't blame. Plus, in Calgary, hey, you know, you might disagree with me on this issue, but I think I'm speaking for a lot of Calgarians. Sports are trying to bend your city over, and I'm glad you're fighting back. You know, Calgary Flames, my most hated team in the NHL probably, but simultaneously a die-hard fan base. Old stadium, absolutely. But then when the owner, or the NHL I should say, says things like, well, maybe if they don't get a stadium, we'll move the team. I think you're doing the right thing telling them to shove it, you know? Why does the taxpayer have to pay for a sports stadium? You're never going to see dividends there. Doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, it's going to bring in, like, you know, jobs to the area, but, like, it's a $1 billion toy, more or less. Anyway. So, this is why you watch the Northernlion on YouTube, you know? It's civic politics and references to municipal minutiae from a different part of the world that you may have never conceived of. Anyway. I hear you, dude. That's all I'm saying. Now, if you could just get the dude to stop threatening to turn off the taps, I mean, you know, it's just, you don't like turning on the news, and then some guy's like, hey, give us what we want, or we'll take your electricity away. Is that the way we do business? I didn't think it was. I might be wrong. Anyway, we're getting into real political stuff. I just don't want my taps turned off. Here's the thing. I don't mind paying $1.70 for gas, $1.80. We don't drive very much. You know, honestly, I get gas like once every 6 weeks. So if it costs us $40 to fill up normally, and then now is $43.75, I don't shake my fist at the the easterly direction and go, Alberta! Just I find the rhetoric alarming. Let me put it that way. Key? No, no key. But it's an election year, so what do you expect? Now, let's, you know, Western Canadian brethren, let's just focus on the positives, okay? At least neither of us are Ontario. I appreciate the spirit hearts. You know what I would appreciate more than a spirit heart? Perhaps a metal object that could be used in a way to, you put it into like a lock and then turn it, and then a door that would previously be inaccessible if you did not possess the appropriate permissions would open for you, give you a bounty of items. Instead, we have Key Beggar, who has, look, you know, has he paid out with anything? To be honest, I haven't been paying very close attention to Key Beggar specifically. He might be crushing it. He might have given us a guppy item. Did he? I almost certainly no, but he could have. Did he? No, of course he didn't. Don't be a fool. But could he have? Absolutely. And that's defensible. Alright. No greed, please. I can live with it. But I am annoyed to not get a key. The whole reason I went to the shop is I wanted to get a key and then use said key to go to the item room as well, but it is what it is. Just remember, this is very important to remember. I can't walk into enemies anymore. Previously, I had a little bit of an ability to walk into enemies. I mean, I can walk into Mom's foot, but I can't walk into enemies to kill them with an orbital. But we traded orbital damage for a little bit of ranged damage, so... And a little bit of actual damage, but only, like, very, very slight amounts. Okay, lucky us. Nah, that's an unfortunate deal with the devil, because, you know, there was definitely a circumstance, perhaps earlier in the run, we probably could have taken advantage of, Judas' Shadow. I mean, if we hadn't taken 9 lives, we could have taken advantage of Judas' Shadow, but... It's okay. No complaints. Huge. To get a tiers upgrade of this magnitude at this stage in the game doesn't always happen. And we gotta love Shoop-to-Whoop is doing a wonderful job at generating flies. So it's like one room. Just get used to these red chests, by the way. One room is Shoop-to-Whoop, and then the next room is carried by the flies generated by Shoop-to-Whoop, and we don't need any more red chests. Let's be realistic with one another. So we got a nice little cycle going on here, I think. Still, if I can reserve, you know, it wouldn't be an NL video without a little bit of needless complaining. Oh, they're gonna turn the taps off. It's my impression of myself as I can't turn my air conditioning on in the summer and am mildly inconvenienced. Anyway, what was I saying? It wouldn't be an NL video without a little bit of complaining. I still think 6 rate of fire, 4.83 damage. Like, let's be honest, we're in threat level, you know, wilted kale. Yikes. But it's also like, you know, speed level quilted snail. You know what I mean? It's taken us a while to kill anything. It's like a snail is slow, and then quilting it, what does it do? Well, it makes it rhyme with the earlier sentence, is really the gist of it. We're also super low on consumables, which is just annoying. Like, it's not even like a quality of life effector. It's just like, at this point in a run, to be, you know, that far behind with that specific attribute is, you're just like, why? Where did my bombs go? Where did my keys went to Keybagger, but where did the bombs go, dude? So I would love, and at this point, let's be honest, the run is very, very likely to be a win. Would anybody object to just getting a Brimstone Mom's Knife, for example? Yes? Well, I wouldn't, so too bad. It really is down to the game. Alright. Perhaps a library. You know what my favorite food to eat in the library is? That's right, Pescetti. I don't actually call it that, to be clear. Except when I'm in an Italian restaurant, I go, hey, give me the Pescetti. And then they go, sir, we told you to leave. This is an East Side Mario's. Hey, bada boom, bada bing. No, I'm not fighting over red chests, you know? Not at this point in my life. Thank you! I refuse. I think we can race back for that key. Again, we're not going to need it on the chest in all likelihood. Apparently left hand takes precedent over Guppy's tail. And I understand it, though it annoys me so. If a red chest could drop a key, I would switch from curmudgeon to being in love with this run straight away. Maybe that's why I don't have bombs, is because I keep getting them and then just walking by them. You know as well as I do that that's not actually the case, but simultaneously, it does put me in a less defensible position. God, he's good. Look at that. Alrighty. So, Mom's Heart should not be a tough fight. 2/3 chance of a deal with the devil. From the deal with the devil, the things I want to see are just obvious DPS improvements. Brimstone, Mom's Knife, Abaddon, Sin Robes. I'll take anything that gives DPS, Mark, Pact, etc., etc. I will not take Headless Baby, and to be quite honest with you, I feel like you've taken my trust and you kind of tossed it out the window. Not that I can really complain. You know, anytime you gotta win in Isaac, you ain't got a leg to stand on. But I feel like it's like being a fan of New England Patriots or something like that, right? Like, when you win so often, you start to expect to win so much that you actually can just judge your enjoyment based on the caliber of the victory. You're like, well, that was a good Super Bowl win, but we were down in the second quarter. So, you know, if there's room for improvement next year, they could really just play better and then have me never doubt that they have a chance to win. Emperor? Temperance? You know, maybe you misheard me. That's fine. I have the opposite thing as a Canucks fan. Look, the Canucks, I can't complain as much as I have historically over the past 3 or 4 years. The team looks like they're on the up and up, which is, you know, I'm not even going to say about time. Like, it actually is not taking too long for them to seem like they've hit rock bottom, because you never know. But seem like they've hit rock bottom and start to make a turn in the positive direction. That's the thing with sports, you know, is that, like, everybody's trying to be as good as possible, right? So, you know, so why don't you just do better? Well, it's hard, dude, because I got, like, you know, 30 other teams all trying to do their best as well. It's not as easy as just, hey, just trade your number 5 defenseman for the number 1 draft pick. Forehead. But anyway, you know, as a Canucks fan, you know, sometimes, even over the last couple of seasons, you'll be like, yeah, we lost, but at least it looked like we could win for a bit. It's not as bad as that month where we lost 5-1 6 games in a row. Sports ball. Okay, I'll say it so you don't have to say it. I don't want to talk about sports ball either, but there's nothing else to talk about. Today's International Dance Day. Congratulations. Listen to some justice today. That's the You don't like to dance, you can still listen to some Justice. I don't like to dance. I don't fully understand how to have fun while dancing. And I don't say that to be funny, even though it is hilarious, as usual. Yikes. I don't have fun dancing. I reject the notion pushed by people that enjoy dancing that enjoying dancing is normal and not enjoying dancing is not normal. I think both of those are normal. If you enjoy dancing, I'm not going to doubt that it's fun. Lots of people enjoy doing it. But all I ask is that for me and the fellow non-dancers, you stop treating it like we have some kind of skin condition. Like, oh, that's so sad. One day maybe you'll have enough self-confidence to enjoy dancing. I talk about nonsense and embarrassing stories like 10 hours a day. My self-confidence is in a completely acceptable situation. It's not like I'm embarrassed to dance. I just don't find it fun. And, you know, really, the expression dance like there's nobody watching. Okay, I will continue to... When nobody's watching, I don't dance. So I'll continue to do that then, and everything's hunky-dory. Now, Cursed Eye was actually, like, literally one of the few things that could actually ruin this whole run. Thankfully, our rate of fire is very strong, making it pretty unlikely. Like, I don't even know why I'm picking up red chest items at this point. Don't get teleported. Making it pretty unlikely that we're gonna get teleported is what I mean to say, but we need to shoot to generate flies. So on a fight like this, it's particularly badly, but Shoot the Whoop is gonna help us out of this jam as well. Cube of Meat is gonna continue being not quite as good as I want it to be, but what else is new? I hate to say it, I wish I had my orbital back. You know why? We could just walk into the enemy, permanent Polaroid invincibility, get the job done. Guppy's hairball does not count. You know it and I know it. Having 3 bombs actually does help though. Hey, Meat Boy. Do something. Okay, we've spent a lot of resources relatively on this. Thank you, Infamy. Really can't afford to get teleported. Just keep your distance. Take pot shots here. Meat Boy will occasionally do some damage, but not enough to really be meaningful. Honestly, like, I think we have no chance to lose, but I might want to die IRL if we get hit at this point. Good work, team. We've completed our objective. Back to base. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. It helps a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya!